Hello, my friend. This is Clyde. And the choice is up to you. Joshua 24, verses 14 and 15. Now fear the Lord and serve him with all faithfulness. Throw away the gods your ancestors worshipped beyond the Euphrates River and in Egypt, and serve the Lord. But if serving the Lord seems undesirable to you, then choose for yourselves this day whom you will serve, whether the gods your ancestors served beyond the Euphrates, or the gods of the Amorites in whose land you are living. But as for me and my household, we will serve the Lord. My maternal grandmother was an iconic figure. She was strong, sassy, wise, generous, and loved the Lord. One of the features of our relationship was a mantra that she would use to get me to eat something that I probably did not like or was suspicious of. It's good for you. That did it every time. If Grandma said it was good for me, I lost that battle. Well, it was because at that point I yielded to her wisdom as she rattled off the various attributes of something that otherwise tasted less than my preference. Now I look back and I admit that the wily woman was right. She was wise. Today, I invite you to listen to the heart of an old man who, at the age of 110 years old, called a whole nation to a final meeting. It was like the grand State of the Union event where the President of the United States gives a grand speech to the nation. Joshua summoned the elders, the leaders, the judges, and officials of Israel, and catch this, they presented themselves before God. That must have been a sight to behold. All the officials rearranged their schedule to be at this important meeting. In his speech, the successor of Moses reviewed their more than 500 years of history, going all the way back to Abraham. It was important for him to do so, given what he had to say eventually. In that discourse, Joshua reminded the nation of God's goodness to them, including leading them miraculously out of 400 years of slavery in Egypt. It was important to know where you are coming from in order to know where you are going. Your past influences your choice for your future. Joshua spoke proudly of their struggle and how, as a nation, they had to contend with enemy forces, neighboring nations who opposed this group of people who were once slaves but who had a God who defended and provided for them. Can I just say, it doesn't matter where you came from. It doesn't matter how you got to this point. The difficulties and struggles you endured to get to where you are. Just be grateful to God for bringing you a mighty long way. Joshua got to that part of the speech where he recited about how God had given them a land, the promised land, which was prosperous and fruitful. That is where the crowd must have cheered in agreement. But Joshua had something on his mind that he had to say. Joshua knew that not everyone was devoted to serving God like him. There were some people in the nation who were serving idols, some idols from their past and some idols they had picked up from neighboring countries. Some of us carry around some baggage, some negative parts of our history, and we allow those things to prevent us from celebrating God's goodness to us in the here and now. Joshua called out those people who were serving false gods, man-made gods. Some gods in our lives are from way back in the so-called good old days, while for others, we go for more modern gods. We don't serve God, but we serve the good things we see others have, and we make great efforts to acquire those as well. What God has to offer us might be good, but what I see my neighbors have, those things look much better. They seem to be having a better life than me. Give me more of what they have. Maybe later I can reconnect with God. Joshua said to the nation, today you will need to make a choice. And I'm not mandating that you do what I say. Rather, I am leaving the final decision up to you and you and you. God has been good to you, carried you through difficulties, impossible situations, made provisions for you when there was nothing, gave you good food and water, and today you are an established nation. Today you are your own people, no longer in slavery. Today you will need to make a choice whether you are going to serve God or whether you are going to serve other gods who have done nothing for you and who can do nothing for you. Go ahead, make a national decision, make a family decision, make a personal decision, make a choice. But hear me well. This 110 years old man standing before you, I am declaring today without fear of contradiction. But as for me and my household, we will serve the Lord. I will never forget what God has done for me. And so my choice is to serve the Lord. I will never forget how God brought us through some rough patches in my life. And if it had not been for God on my side, I wouldn't be here today. So I will serve the Lord. I have seen God made provisions for me and my family. I've seen God come through for me when there was no way out of some situations. And today we choose to serve the Lord. I will never forget how Jesus saved me from a life of sin and bad choices and how he made me a child of God. And so I will choose to serve the Lord. You may serve whoever you want to serve. That is your choice. That is your decision. But me and my family over here, we have made a decision. We have chosen that we will serve the Lord. My friend, today I say to you what Joshua said to his people thousands of years ago. Choose today who you will serve. The God who you know as a good God, or the new opportunities that you have today to follow the way of the world. The choice is up to you.